The hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows. Live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
You know, the amazing thing about being a stylist for over 30 years is that I have people sit in my chair all the damn time talking about their relationships, the good, the bad, the ugly, the affairs, the proposals. And God, don't even get started on the menopause frustrations and the impotent men. Listen, you trying to find your spark again. I'm trying to diagnose you, comb your hair, give you some therapy, fill up your cup. But ultimately, if you tap in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Levels of Intimacy, The Naked Truth, I got a whole panel of folks to tell you how to get your shit together, because all I keep telling you is that I'm the lady to sell lube. It's your girl, Miss Connie LV, and that's my naked truth. It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m., discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It is your girl, Miss Connie LV, and here we are again, another week for Levels of Intimacy, The Naked Truth. And from the tone of my voice, you know it's serious. The lights are dim, okay? But let me tell you something. It's giving judicial court up in here today. If you have not already went out and voted, listen. You have to stay in order to have your processes handled. So we're going to go right in today. I'm not going to go with all this banter, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm very intentional about my guest today, Judicial Court Candidate District. She is going to speak about what is going on here that is specific to our community needs here in Las Vegas, because sometimes things are a little bit different. Because when I spoke with my people about voting, they were clueless. This is some of my stylists, okay? That's not my circle, but just being a stylist world, I'm going in today. And what's crazy is that most of my clients are younger with children who are part of the system, who outside, okay, who having hot girl summers, driving in fast cars and doing good over the counter, off the counter, in the cut type things, you know? So I think if anybody should understand what's going on with the judicial system, it should be someone who is committing said crimes. So the naked truth is, all the crooks, pull up on me, okay? Because you need to understand why, when, and where you are heading if you don't get yourself on the right course. Like, real talk. But all jokes aside, I definitely want to bring in my guest today. Let's give a warm welcome to Ray CANADY. Yes, she has graced her face in this studio for the second time. Shout out to my co-host, Flo Capricorn, woo, who, if you really want to know some more information, make sure you tap into her show as well, so you can kind of hear where our candidate is from, because she's here on The Naked Truth. So it's time to take off the turtleneck, and we want to understand who, what, when, where, and how did we get here as a woman in leadership, as an African American woman in leadership. How did we get here? Introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you so much, Miss Connie. And it is a pleasure to be back. This is such a beautiful space. Mm-hmm. So if you guys haven't been down to Revive, you have to come down. So I'm Ray CANADY. I am running for Las Vegas Municipal Court Judge in Department 1.
Okay.
We are still in early voting period. Early voting ends on June 5th. And then your next opportunity to vote would be on primary day, June 9th.
Yes.
So I am a Midwest gal. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is about an hour north of Chicago. But I have called Las Vegas my soul city and my home for 12 years now. So I moved here in May of 2014.
Okay.
And I absolutely love living in Las Vegas.
I heard.
Yes.
So being in the position that you are now, I always say that when we reach these certain areas or plateaus in our life, they're truly really about our childhood. How does your childhood play into the woman that is running today in the campaign?
Wow, that's a lot, but I'll sort of sum it up in two ways. So the first thing that plays into me running in sort of my career is that my parents sort of raised me and my 3 older sisters. They kind of immersed us in these concepts of justice, equity, equality, and treating people how you want to be treated, and always sticking up for the underdog. So me and my 3 sisters, we all have degrees in helping people. 3 of us have social work degrees. 1 has a criminal justice degree. Okay. And I don't think that's by accident, right? Yeah. We knew very early on the difference between equity and equality because that's how my parents parented us. My parents would say, we don't parent you each the same, because you're all different. You're unique, and we need to respond to you uniquely. So what you need isn't the same as what your sister needs. That's equity. We give you each what you need to be the best you. Wow. So I understood the difference between those two concepts from a very early age. Okay. And that is really what fuels me to this day. The understanding that people need what they need to succeed. If I treat everyone exactly the same, then everybody doesn't actually succeed the way they need to succeed, because what you need is unique to you. And I think we get caught up with this idea of equality. Equality has its place for sure, because everybody needs to have an opportunity. But once everybody is given, and that's equality, but once everybody's given that opportunity to be their best, then equity needs to kick in. And that's what I'm really big on, is equity. So that was something that really fueled me to go into social work, to then go into the law. The second thing I think that really was important in my childhood is more of the sort of the not so pretty stuff, the stuff that you kind of deal with mother and daughter relationships. And it just so happened that the dysfunctional relationship that my mother had with her mother played out between me and my mother. And so I can see in a lot of the clients that I've had over the years, the people that I know I will see as a judge, what I presented to the world a lot of the time was an attitude, because right behind that was a lot of pain. So when I see people with that outer hard shell, I'm not so quick to be like, I'm not going to deal with that. I know what's behind that. I know that there's trauma, there's pain. There's somebody who wants to be understood behind that. So having experienced that myself, I take a little extra time with that person. And when you do, you can get past that hard outer shell to really that soft inner part that just needs to be heard and understood. And so those, for me, are the 2 big things that came out of my childhood that have helped me in working with others for the past almost 30 years.
So I'm going to be really honest, Ray. I think you just came for me, okay? I think you just came for me, okay? You picked me up in an Uber XL because as I did my research on you and I did understand the building blocks that got you here, and I was like, okay, I know you work with the courts. I know you work with the children. I know your path because I did research. And I thought about our conversation when we met, when we came across each other again at the meet and greet with my granddaughter. And you were like, Grandma, listen, like, just relax. And I'm like, no. So when I heard, when I did research, I was like, oh, well, I used to have a program for diversion court. So I'm like, okay, so she used to the diversion court kids. Like, no, this is exceptional. But now as you sit and I interview and I hear your story, I hear like sometimes that pushy parent for greatness. And you know, I do try to give her grace, but it's hard being with a teenager and menopause at the same time. Like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yes.
Somebody come and get me.
I get it. I get it.
I do project administrative assistant, CFO to Sanaa.
Yes.
In my life and in my business. But I appreciate you allowing her to have a position in your journey, you know, and just even hearing that, it's kind of like, Connie, you're like, grandma, like, relax. Like, she's here. She has it together. And as she now was just actually come out of mock trial yesterday, and she's an attorney in this mock trial. Shout out to UNLV. And she was so frustrated when I picked her up. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she was cross-examining someone. And he wasn't going with the script, which wasn't allowing her the time to really cross-examine him. And I mean, she literally like had tears, and I'm just like, have you taken this like as a real thing, or is this for play? Like, is this affecting your relationship with your classmates because you're so passionate? You know, and if it is, then figure out another way. You know what I'm saying? Because they are preparing you for greatness. Because the reality is sometimes because of your skin, they don't want greatness out of you, you know? So saying that extra challenge, I already told her when we show up, we got to know everything they pretty much teaching.
Yeah.
Right? So once we get hit with these challenges, it just allows us to level up. Speak about that, just on the journey of becoming having a mother, okay?
Yeah.
Having parents who were progressives, like, listen, you have to.
Yeah, so my dad spent a lot of time talking with us about, you know, preparing us for the world, right? The talk that we talk about in our community. He was very clear with us about the kinds of names that we were not going to allow people to call us. Because, look, we have biracial kids running around now. It's quite common, but I'm going to be 51 in 2 months, and I'm the youngest of my siblings. It was not common 50 years ago. In fact, we lived in a complex of about 1,000 houses.
Okay.
There were 2 families like us.
And what is like us? Describe that.
Where you have a white mom and a black dad with biracial children.
Okay.
2 families.
Okay.
And so, you know, people were looking at us like, oh, what are you? Who are you? We're not really sure what are we supposed to do with you? You know, and they had their names. And my dad would say, you don't allow anybody to call you names, right? My dad was very big on you stand up to a bully. You never allow them to push you around. And to this day, I stand up to bullies. It irks me when I see people being a bully. Now, I know the psychology of a bully, right? But that doesn't mean I'm going to allow you to bully me, right?
Exactly.
I know that on the inside, you're insecure. But in that moment, I don't have time to speak to the insecure child in you. What I'm going to do is let you know that I'm not the one today, right?
Or tomorrow. Definitely
Right?
not June 9th.
Not the 1 or the 2 ever, right? We're going to have that conversation right now. And so he prepared us for that. He prepared us for what we were going to face. And my mom was really good about, because even though she was a Caucasian, right, she has white privilege. There's no doubt about that. She also grew up in a time where women in general were told, still had limitations. So my mom really wanted to be a doctor, and she was told the best you can be is a nurse, right? That's not for women.
Right.
And so she started her first semester in nursing school and then got pregnant with my oldest sister and then decided she was going to be a mom. And this was before Roe versus Wade, right? So if she was going to try to terminate, that would have been something that she would have had to seek out and probably a pretty dangerous situation. And so look, we've come a long way, and then we've gone backwards in many ways, right? So they both had challenges. Clearly, my father had more challenges than she did. Because she still was cloaked in her whiteness, right? That's never something we forget. But my dad prepared us. The racism in the Midwest, where I'm from, is very different than the racism here. It's much more covert here. It's much more undercover here. What I get here is, it's that I can't really put my finger on it, racism here, right?
I can.
So what I get from a lot of people is that they're uncomfortable with my communication style. That's what they say to me. But they can't ever quite give me an example of what that looks like, sounds like, reads like. They can't ever quite precisely tell me, because what it really is they don't like my confidence. They don't like that I know what I'm talking about. It's more of, how dare you? But they can't quite say that. So all that they can come up with is, it's just your communication style, you know. And I'll say, oh, okay, well, give me an example. Well, I can't really put my finger on it. Yeah, I can. Give me a dictionary and flip the page to R.
Okay.
I can put my finger right where it is.
Right.
And that's what I mean by the covertness of it, right? Because it's also not lost on me that I'm much more palatable to white people because of my skin color, right? And a lot of times, that gets me into spaces where then, but then white people feel like that they were duped in a lot of ways, because then when I start to advocate for certain things, they go, wait a minute, this isn't who we thought we were hiring. Right. This isn't what we signed up for.
Listen.
How dare you betray us? Yes. And I'm thinking, no. This is who I was when I applied. This is who I was when I interviewed. You heard and saw what you wanted to hear and see. I haven't changed. I said the same things in the interview that I'm saying now. You're just now hearing it differently, because I'm always myself wherever I go. And then I get that backlash of the how dare she, right?
I wish I would.
Right? And so we all are going to face challenges. It's just that we face them in different ways. And that's what I get a lot. And so then when it comes time to, well, we really want to get rid of her, they can't ever point to my work ethic, because that's always top notch. They can't ever look to my work product, because that's always top notch, right? But we work in a state where they can let you go for any reason as long as it's not discriminatory. So that's what I get a lot. Oh, well, we've just decided that we've
eliminated your position.
Yeah, we're just going to separate. Yeah. And I say, okay, that's fine, because A, I'm going to get my unemployment, and B, I'm going to get another job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is frustrating because the staff I leave behind feel like, wait a minute, we finally got somebody who understood us and was advocating for us and was helping us do things that we've been asking to do for so long, and then you guys got rid of her.
Yeah.
But you got to move on and keep it pushing.
That authentic blackness.
Oh, it irks the soul of people.
It does.
Because what I have found in my 50 years on this earth is that most people are not authentic. And so when authenticity enters the room, it irks their soul. And most people, quite frankly, are cowards. Now, if I have to say that nicely, I'll say, oh, most people have to exercise their courage muscle, right? If I have to say it the PC way. But the way I use it, most people are cowards.
Yeah.
Most people don't stand on business. And so when you do, that irks their soul as well.
Yep. I will testify to that as well, because I am authentically black and definitely all about being my hero. Like, you're not going to get anything over if I feel, once I start to have that communication with myself where, you're like, wait a minute, what did you say?
Yes.
That's your inner person. Like,
yes.
Did you hear what she just said?
Yes.
Or did you see that? Like, okay, so hold on. Now, what just happened?
And it doesn't matter what level you get to.
I
have friends who are judges who are bullied by other judges. And I say to them, you do know that those are not your bosses, right? Those are your colleagues. You've been voted in by the community.
But that goes back on what you saying of, it may have been an interview where you don't want to get here by not being yourself or do something that you weren't. Because sometimes we are so thirsty for the level up that we drink everybody's Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And then here we go have this little checklist, Epstein file. And it's just like, you remember, you owe me,
Yeah.
So I think too, and people don't understand really this 50. 50 is the reset. 50.
Listen, I thought I loved my 40s.
Yeah.
So for me in my 40s, all the F's just blew away. Okay. I was like, IDGAF, okay? You think I care?
Right.
And then in my 50s, it's like, I deserve it.
Yeah.
I've worked hard, I deserve it.
It's not even a conversation.
It's not even a conversation.
You're invisible.
Yeah. I don't even need to acknowledge your existence. It's not even worth it. I find myself not even getting rattled about certain things, and I'm like, oh, who is this person? But I like her. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time and effort.
It is not. And we really at 50 are starting to see things, but it's funny because you have the energy of 20, but you don't want to be that place,
Exactly.
It's literally like whatever you're doing at 49, at 50, it's going to be hyperdrive.
Yes.
So if you're doing nonsense, you're going to have energy to do more nonsense.
Yeah.
But if you are being intentional about manifesting things to level you up and be the person that you needed to show up for you, or in some instance, somebody else, it's like, you know what? Let me cut the middleman out. I know what you need. Okay, I was the attorney. No, okay, what? Oh, denied? Let me go up here and be the judge. So, 2030, we have the presidential candidate here.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, let's level up. What else we doing? Are we here? Are we where we wanted to be? Did you ever from the beginning say, I'm going to work to be a judge?
No, actually it was not my plan. It wasn't until I started working at municipal court as an administrator that I said, this is unacceptable. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest. I don't have any other aspirations. Municipal court is where I want to be. And some people don't understand that, and I appreciate that. But municipal court is where I know I can make the greatest impact. And so that's really where I want to be. I don't have any desire to go to justice court, district court. Here's the first thing. Municipal court judges get paid the most of all judges in the state. Okay, most people don't know that. But obviously, it's not about the money. But the biggest thing for me is everything is in-house at municipal court. So about a month and a half ago, there was an argument going on between one of the district court judges and the sheriff. The district court judge released the individual on electronic monitoring. Well, the electronic monitoring program is supervised by the sheriff. Okay, the sheriff got that order and said, I'm not releasing him. I don't think he's safe enough for the community. And they start arguing back and forth. That would never happen in municipal court. Municipal court handles all its own stuff. It supervises its own electronic monitoring program. By the way, I don't like electronic monitoring. Just as a side note, in municipal court, they pass that cost on to the individual, and electronic monitoring is not effective. Side note. Okay, but that argument would never happen. I don't have to argue with the sheriff about anything. It's in-house. Probation, in-house. Pretrial, in-house, right? So that is why I like municipal court the most. It's the court closest to the community, and it's the court where I think I can make the greatest positive impact. So I don't really have any interest in those other courts. I really don't. This is it for me. That's what I also am not interested in legislative position, right? So we have 3 branches of government.
Right.
We have the judicial branch. We have the legislative branch. So that's where you have people who are running for like state assembly, state senate. No, thank you. It requires a level of compromise that at 50, I know I don't have. I don't have it. I'm not that person. Because what you have to do is you have to say, okay, I'll put my bill on hold. We'll advance your bill now. But then next session, don't forget me, come back. I'm not that person. I'm the person that says if it's the right thing to do, let's do it now. Why would we have people suffering continue to wait because we're up here compromising on things? I understand the mentality.
Long suffering.
Hats off to people that can do it. I'm not one of them. And the executive branch. So you're talking like the mayor, that's not me either. Now, maybe if I retired, maybe I might run for city council at some point. But that would be retirement because Las Vegas City Council is a part-time position. But for my full-time gig, I'm only interested in being a judge in Las Vegas Municipal Court.
Okay, listen. priorities set.
I know it,
that
yes.
makes a big difference when you sitting in these high places, because sometimes it's just a stepping stone. So you're not really taking into consideration how you can affect somebody's life. But knowing you and doing the research, I know that you are not that type of judge. Actually, you're totally against that,
Yes.
especially when I heard your interviews. But being a judge in Las Vegas, I think is a little bit different than being a judge in Wisconsin.
It is.
Just even the cases. So as I speak with being a stylist over 30 years, I deal with a certain, level of clientele and just different people. You have Vegas as 24/7, not like it used to be when we first moved here.
Right.
But there's literally people here that work 2-3 shifts. They don't get any sleep, or they gambling, or they just, on this money run. You have a lot of people here that are insomniacs and maniacs, literally. And now you get yourself into these situations with traffic, homicide, because you're not sleepy, you're not paying attention. Then we have the young girls who are, human trafficking is really big out here.
Yes, it is.
So even let's just tap into that, levels of intimacy, the naked truth, where it's always about me advocating for women. Mm-hmm. So as I speak about the women and working with Rescue America and Diversion Court, these young girls who they just, I don't know, it's just the thrill, because everybody is not in a bad situation that's out here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Which, shout out to the Diversion Court, but one thing about the system that you're working for, see something, say something, I think that's a big thing. Also, even with jury duty and just being more involved in the community. And every time I've run across you, it's been in the community. At the NAN, where all the judges were with the National Association of Networking. Then again at the 89106, the historical, over at Pearson. Yeah. At Pearson, and then again at the Aliante.
Yes.
But what is it? How can we help the community? Like I just, it's so many things going through my head, because I'm thinking about my girl. She done cleaned up her life, but you had a situation. You can't even go to the casino and get a Cinnabon because you're trespassing.
Yeah.
But you haven't been in the system as this person for 10 years, but you are still being harassed.
Yeah. So I will say that one of the good things I like about the state of Nevada and the way that we've set things up here is after a period of time, you can get your record sealed. Mm-hmm. That is unique. Like, I came from Wisconsin. That's not a thing. Mm-hmm. There are only certain offenses that you can ask to be the equivalent of sealed. Very few offenses, they have to be committed before a certain age. You have to ask for it up front. There's all these stipulations. Whereas here, almost every offense can be sealed after a certain period of time, after you wait a certain period of time. So let's use your example. She's been out of the game for 10 years. Mm-hmm. She would be eligible to get that sealed. Mm-hmm. What we don't have, though, is the opportunity for her to go back to that casino and say, look, I've gotten my record sealed. Can we remove that trespass? I think we can do some work with our casinos on that respect.
Yeah.
And I'm more than willing to start those conversations with the casinos. Mm-hmm. Because once you've turned your life around, once you've done the hard work, why should that continue to follow you for the rest of your life? Mm-hmm. Right? I just want to go to dinner.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to put $1 in the
you
slots.
cannot even do it, because the face recognition.
Correct.
And I'm saying, it's so crazy when I hear these stories, and they are very prevalent with Black girls. You know, it's always like, hey, let me ID you. And it's like, wait, what?
Right.
And
now imagine, right, like your scenario. Now you've got a 3-year-old and you want to take her to circus. And then the security stops you, right? And in your mind, you're thinking that was a lifetime ago. Right. But now you're feeling so embarrassed because now your daughter or son is saying, Mommy, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Why can't we go to the whatever Adventure Dome, like you said? Mm-hmm. That's a whole scenario that you don't need to be put in.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to reach out to these casinos and say, can we start a program where if they bring this to you and it's been sealed, can we get them removed from that?
Yeah, even in the workforce, it's so crazy because when you see now, we speak about pimping and pandering. That's different,
Right.
But a lot of these girls have been put in situations where you have children, you homeless, you hungry. I always say it's 3 different type of working girls out here. You know, it's some who really just love the lifestyle and the gifts, but it's some who really have. They this is just what they do. They don't have the education backing them. So even when they are coming out of these lifestyles, DV, you know, all these kept relationships, some type of program to get them back in the workforce, even in the casinos, because some of these are beautiful young girls.
Oh, absolutely.
Who would really thrive in a VIP host setting. But I don't know if you didn't got knocked in there. I don't know if they're going to do that. But I'm just saying, if you're working on yourself, you know?
But why not, though, right?
Yeah.
If your record has been sealed, they've removed the trespass, why couldn't you get a job
Right.
there?
But
why
it's
can't you be a
crazy.
casino host? Why can't you be a cocktail waitress? Why can't you be a bartender? Why can't you be a dealer? I don't understand. Because we know that the number one way to reduce recidivism is employment.
Exactly.
We know that.
But shout out to the beauty industry, because that's where a lot of them
There you go.
in, you
There
know?
you go. And so what ends up happening is, because we put so many restrictions on employment after you've been convicted, people either have to become their own entrepreneurs, or they go back into the life of
And
crime
it's
because
so hard. Or real
their
estate.
options,
Yep.
right? And you're basically an entrepreneur as a
Yep.
real estate agent, right? But not everybody has the money, the skill, the intelligence, or the go-getter sort of attitude to become an entrepreneur. I don't have an entrepreneurial bone in my body, right? That's just not my path. So what do we do for those people, right? Some of them need to be able to go back into the traditional workforce, and we have to remove those obstacles for them. We can't set them up for failure and then act surprised when they fail. You know, when I was a criminal defense attorney, I used to make this argument. I would say, look, at the sentencing, I would say, listen, we can't be surprised when we put a pot on the stove and we put certain ingredients in, right? We put a little pinch of trauma. We put an absent parent in there. We throw in, you know, a clove of abuse. We mix in these ingredients, and then we act shocked when what we scoop out is crime. Let's stop, right, with the fake righteous indignation.
Exactly.
We know what is going to be the outcome when we fail these children up front.
Exactly.
So please save it. Stop it. Okay.
So, okay, tapping into that point and being in the system, the cycle, where do you see there, even because single mothers, the kids is out of control now. I think during COVID, they saw too much. I always say that. I'm like, Sanai, she ran down a case, and my client, she was like, what did she learn this from? I said, listen, Sanai came from a Law and Order generation, you know? I felt bad. Like, I should have had this baby watching Law and Order. Hence, here she is in the criminal or judicial, you know, mindset of solving crimes and doing things. My generation and my friends, it was Victor Newman. I said, that's why everybody's sleeping with every doggone body. And now this younger generation, I'm like, what projected these kids to be this crazy like this? You know, where is it? What is happening? And I think a lot of it has to do with the imprisonment of the fathers. The only way to receive resources is if he is absent in your life, you know, literally lying to the point where we really are creating that below poverty mindset. So sitting on that platform, looking down, how can we change this? Even with the kids, like in Vegas, they sensationalize the casinos, the stripping, you know, like you 18, you just graduated yesterday, come be a dancer today. And it's like, wow, that's really a billboard. I was like, is this serious?
Yeah. I think so. There's no one single answer, right? It's a combination of things. And it's a combination of policies that we have created. This is what I love to say at any job I'm at. We created the policy. We can uncreate that policy. We can change the rules at any time that we want to. It is a matter of whether we want to change the rules, because keep in mind that rules benefit some to the detriment of others. So it depends on who's in charge of that rule. there are a lot of people that don't want to change the rules because the rules are fitting them just fine. Right? The outcomes of this game is allowing them to pass go and collect $200 frequently, while other people are stuck over on Baltimore Avenue, right? So, but it's not a one thing fix.
Okay.
If we want to scale it down to one thing, I would say it is this: we allow ourselves to be way more reactive than we are proactive. We are fine with spending 4 times as much on the back end than 1 time on the front end, right? So just a small example. We remove Black and brown children from their mothers through CPS at much higher rates than we remove white children. And we remove them under the guise of neglect, which is a really broad category, and we can remove them for a ton of reasons under neglect. In reality, a lot of what they are being removed for are issues around poverty or the mother being abused or in an abusive relationship. If we instead gave them the resources that they needed up front, we could prevent that removal, prevent the trauma to the children, prevent that separation, and not spend 4 times as much on the back end placing them in foster care and paying strangers to somewhat take care of them. But we'd rather spend 4 times as much on the back end than give those mothers the resources they need on the front end.
And I think that got lost with the Census Bureau. People lying to the remember when the Census Bureau would come and knock on your door and ask you, who lives here? How many children? Us lying literally created the environment. It was a trickle-down effect. You know, you're not saying 3-4 children live here. Oh, no kids, no man. So what did they build? Liquor stores and convenience stores, no parks, no recreational centers, because there was no children. The numbers were off. So I don't know if that's it, but I'm just thinking, I remember you knew what was kind of going on in the community. You were about something, but some kind of way there's just a disconnect. So I'm just excited to even have a platform where I can talk to more than one person about the same thing. And it's literally saving yourself as a woman, as a senior citizen, as a mother, as a resident. You know what I'm saying? You have to really know what's going on in real life.
Absolutely. Listen, if our vote and our voice wasn't so powerful, they would not spend billions to silence it. You have to know your power.
You have to.
You have to know your power.
And they're changing the process of voting. So you know.
And you know
that
your voice
and your
vote
right?
is worth something.
Exactly.
If they continue to try to disenfranchise it. If they continue to try to literally map you out of existence. It's important.
Yes. Yeah, everybody want justice when they hurt. Everybody want to sue somebody.
Right.
But don't nobody want to get no insurance.
Everybody wants a fair judge. Nobody wants to vote a fair judge in.
Hello.
Everybody wants a fair judge. Nobody wants to show up to the judicial forum.
Hello.
Listen, when I first ran, I thought it was an education issue. I thought, you know what? You know what the problem is? People just don't have enough information. It's not that. Because I want to educate. There are a ton of forums out here with candidates, and you show up and 2 people from the community come.
Yeah.
It's not that the education or the information isn't there. People want it now on their phone in 15 or 30-second bursts. But that's just not how you get accurate information. People need to understand your phone tells you what you want it to tell you.
Yeah, that's your algorithm.
Your algorithm gives you what you want it to give you.
Yes.
Whatever you spend 2 seconds on is what your phone says, oh, that's what this person likes. I'm going to give it more of that.
Exactly.
So unless you are spending time on NPR, you're not going to get balanced information. You're going to get what you want to get. And so balanced candidate information is not going to come onto your screen. You kind of have to seek it out.
Close your eyes. Imagine a room that doesn't just look beautiful, it feels alive. The lighting is perfect, the energy is electric, and the scent of gourmet creation is in the air. Now look around. You aren't just checking the kitchen or hovering over the guest list. You're in the moment. You're the life of the party. Welcome to the world of irresistible events and catering. In a city built on spectacle, we specialize in spectacular. At Irresistible Events and Catering, we just don't fill plates, we curate memories, because our philosophy is simple, elegant, and absolute. We plan, cater, and style any event. Why settle for ordinary when you can have the irresistible? Elevate your event at irresistibleeventslv.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
To roll up, tell me what's the hold up. So hit it. Let's talk about this now. I make it real loud. Unneeded problems, trust has fallen. Got those calling my phone now. What you gon' do? Need me to do? Roll through and solve this problem. Unneeded problems, trust has fallen. Got those calling my phone now. What you gon' do? Need me to do? Roll through and solve this problem. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. You real tight-lipped, saying nothing. I might jump ship. See you drowning into nowhere, and you best believe you wanna play the victim. You gotta play the victim. Unneeded problems, trust has fallen. Got those calling my phone now. What you gon' do? Need me to do? Roll through and solve this problem. Unneeded problems, trust has fallen. Got those calling my phone now. What you gon' do? Need me to do? Roll through and solve this problem.
What it is, I know you run your sister, so I'ma just keep it crisp. Ooh-wee, believe me, I love what you got, but I'm young and I'm dumb, running straight to the top. Leave it, color-coded, with it. Love whenever you be showing emotion, yeah, that mean I got you. To be honest, ain't a lot of chicks that really top you, and you know I'm with it, nothing to lose. You got the juice, I be around some groupies, but I'm not into those. Yeah, I want you in the picture, but you changing your pose, banging me up, calling my phone, saying you know what I'm doing. You know you hard, you ain't moving, so tell them cats in them DMs. If I see him, my baby gon' be making a post that say free him, cause your love worth 100 miles of running facts. Let me call this girl back.
Let me know what's up.
had to choose on these big moves. She chose on me. No duck goose. Meditation to the mind while I'm making moves. Tunnel vision to the grind. No, I will not lose. And I'ma put you on, stick to myself, and I'ma be in my zone. Baby, what do you want? She wanna ride my wave, and I'ma play it safe. Can we be on go? Can we hustle and flow? Gotta keep my mind clear, gotta stay away from stress. If we dress to impress, you can hop in my ride. Understand where we at, we gotta stay on track and hold each other's back. You just hop on my wave, we'll be okay. You are the question and I am the answer. With you, my baby, my heart beats faster. I'm just here to change your life. You're as sharp as a knife. Smoking spinach with my olive oil. Yeah, I planted the seed in the soil. But what I plant to be raw. We gotta stay healthy. No, we can't get spoiled. We are the truth and there are no rules. You a ruby, baby, you're a jewel. And I know love is easy, yeah. I need you to believe me, yeah. I knew you was gonna be my girl. Let me take you away from this world. This world. The moons. From this world.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
on hot7025fm.com.
So you responded saying
What was I saying? Listen, we got so
the marshal.
Oh, so the marshal. So then she was arguing with the officer, but you know,
And she called him.
and
so you
she
still,
called him,
right.
and she was like, "Well, that's what I was trained." And he said, "I believe you, but she has every right to be here."
Yeah.
So he came back over to me and he says, "Listen, you don't have to answer me, but how much longer do you think you'll be?" I said, "You're right, I don't, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I have every right to be here. But I will tell you." I said, "Listen, we're just trying to catch the rest of the light. We'll only be here about 30 minutes. He said, "Okay." He said, "Here's the CAD number in case you have any issues." And they moved on. And they handled it exactly how it should be handled.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to say a couple things. Number one, it happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Less frequently to some people than others, but it does happen to everybody. Secondly, keep your cool, stay calm, right? But it's almost like a surreal moment because I was like, "Oh, you see this stuff on YouTube or whatever. You see it on
Reality check.
Yeah, but like she totally did exactly what I know happens to a lot of people. She got on with dispatch. She lied on me. She exaggerated, right? But I had to keep my cool, right? Because if I'm looking just as crazy as she is, she then the pendulum swings and she then gets the benefit of the doubt. And I'm just not going to give her that. So I got to keep my cool. And I knew I was firmly grounded in the law. Right. And then I followed up with the court administrator and he apologized and said, "We will look into this right away." So, but what I think about is, what if I wasn't a lawyer?
What if it was me?
Right? What if the marshals that showed up weren't well trained?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The person in my shoes could have gotten arrested that day and would have been unlawfully arrested.
Wow.
And that's what scares me
Yeah.
about people being untrained or trained poorly.
And just the fact of the matter that you know the laws.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time where I remember they would pass out cards so you would know your laws when you are approached by different levels of authority. But you know, and it's crazy because it is one side of the story because we don't know if she couldn't risk losing her job. You know, so she could be being micromanaged by somebody in a window. You know what I'm saying?
I have no doubt.
Another black woman. But just as a black woman, hopefully speaking to other black women while talking with a black woman, is sometimes we got to watch our tone and our volume with people, because not all of us are as versed as our candidate here, because it could be just one simple switch.
Yeah.
To blow this shit up.
Yeah. And what was going through my mind too was, if I wasn't who I was,
that's what I'm saying.
I could have demanded that she get fired.
Yep.
And I specifically put in my email, I am not asking for that.
Yep.
This is a training issue. That's right. I said, this is a training issue. She was set up. Fix the training of this.
Yep.
Right? She did. Now, did she need to get as jazzy as she got? No. But okay, it's all good. It's all good, right? I'm going to give her that.
She shouldn't use the fingers.
Right. She didn't need to use the fingers.
Did she have nails?
She had the nails.
Together? Okay.
And she didn't need to escalate it to the point of calling the police on me, right? In my brain, I'm like, as a black person, I don't know that you needed to pull that one on me, right? But okay, right? But I still don't think that she needs to lose her job over that, because that also could be part of what she was trained to do, right? But it's a training issue. And so I don't ever want to abuse what power I do have simply because I was annoyed or inconvenienced. We've been on the other end of that. I don't want to then become that person.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, that's why you got to level up in your crowds, because some people will have you like, what? Where's she at? You know, but it's like, you know what? Listen, I'm going to go over your head, okay? And I'm going to help you be better.
Yes.
The whole structuring of the program, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because sometimes these systems are set up for the little people to take a lot, you know?
That's right.
So that's just, you know, we appreciate that. Definitely that she didn't lose her job. But as we touch upon the final hour of voting, if you have not already, let people know where they can see or meet and greet with you as the days approach. I know that you're out in the community.
I am. So tonight, as I leave here, I'm going to, within the speed limit, I'm going to race on over to the Foreign Exchange, which is downtown.
Shout out to Twix.
Black-owned business.
Yes.
Twix is our guy.
Yes, he is.
I know everybody knows Twix, right?
Everybody
So
knows Twix.
there's a candidate
And
forum
Brittany.
there tonight. Between 6 and 6:30 is sort of like networking, and then at 6:30 there will be at least 4 candidates. I will be one of them, so you'll get to hear from me.
I think Tia. Is she? No,
I don't
think
know.
she had her thing. She had her thing a couple of weeks
so
ago.
I know for sure it will be 3 judges and then somebody running for public administrator at a minimum. That will be on the panel.
Okay.
Let's see. What's today? Wednesday.
Yep. Thursday.
Okay. Tomorrow over lunch, I will be at the I think it's the Red Rock Country Club for the Clark County Bar Association judicial panel.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, I will be at, I don't remember because I never really know where I'm at. But then Friday night, I will be at this other thing. And then,
she's outside.
I'm going to be outside.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's so many events that if I don't look at my calendar, I don't know where I'm at. But I know where I'm at tonight and tomorrow for lunch.
But how can they keep up with you? Social media, website, so they will know exactly where they could be. So you don't have to say that it was too far, because guess what? She is in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
So tell them where they can find your information.
So CANADY for court is everything. It's my website, it's IG, it's Facebook, and CANADY is like Canada, but instead of the A at the end, it's Y. So it's CANADY for FOR court.
Okay.
Or you just Google Ray CANADY, everything will come up.
I know. She all over the internet. So before we leave, Naked Truth, real quick question round. I just want to ask you a few questions, maybe 5, one quick answer, just to let the audience know. So justice is what for you?
For me, justice is equity. But I want to be clear that justice, my definition of justice really doesn't matter. It's the definition of the people involved that matters.
All right. Leadership requires
humility.
Oh, that's true. The biggest misconception about judges is
that they're smart.
Listen, seriously. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I hate to be on the off, but Celebrezzi, she's in court right now. You know, anyway, I'm not going to take your moment. Every citizen should know her or his or that what?
They should know their constitutional rights.
Does it really matter? No.
It does. You should know. Civics is important.
They're trying to make it not be a
I
factor.
know, but it is.
But no.
Your constitutional rights.
Schoolhouse rock.
Yes.
Can you bring it
branches
back?
Of government. Yes.
Just, I'm only a bill.
Yeah. Because you know what? I get asked these questions and I have to say, that's not what a judge does. That's what this person does. So just for your own preservation, when you have a problem, just to know where to go.
Yep. All right. The naked truth. The future of our community depends on what?
Participation.
Period.
You got to get in the game.
You cannot keep skipping jury duty.
Please. I'm going to be honest. Every time I see the jurors line up, I think there's hope for democracy.
Listen, I've been on the jury duty 8 times.
Shut up.
Yes.
Did you actually come down?
Yes.
Wow.
Listen, I have sat in the bench and I got to work on my face.
That's crazy.
I was so mad I didn't get picked for this one case because it was the eyebrows. Because I'm over there like,
So you got to let that,
you
drop
gotta be
that
like
eyebrow.
this.
Yes, you got to be stone faced.
Yeah.
I got the letter one time. They said call to see if you have to come, and I didn't even have to come. I will never get on a jury. As soon as I say I'm an attorney, they're done with me. But
Listen,
please
I
come
went
down for jury duty.
I went so much that the neighborhood was out thinking I was an informant.
Like for real.
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
If you want to be a part of justice, come down.
You have to vote, okay? Get up, get out tonight. Make sure you go and vote. Make sure you have your ballot in order. Listen, the future of our future is literally in our own hands.
Look, I say to this, people who say my vote doesn't matter, then voting won't matter either. So then just do it.
Listen, I appreciate you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Make sure you guys go out, check out her on her website, Ray CANADY for Court.
CANADY for Court.
CANADY for Court.
.com. Yes.
Make sure you check her out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching Levels of Intimacy, The Naked Truth. Make sure you subscribe because I be talking about some stuff, like for real.
Click the subscribe button.
Click, click, click.
Thank you.
Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.